I would now like to invite Dr. Narendranath Reddy, Chairman of Prashanti Council, to give us the inaugural address. Dr. Narendranath Reddy graduated in medicine with honors from the SV Medical College, Tirupati, India. He specialized in internal medicine and did his subspecialization in endocrinology and metabolism at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York, United States of America. He has been a consultant internist and endocrinologist in Southern California for over 30 years, and he is a fellow of the American College of Endocrinologists. Dr. Reddy was awarded the Physicians Recognition Award by the American Medical Association, and he was elected a member of the Endocrine Society in recognition of his meritorious work in basic and clinical endocrine research and medical education. Dr. Reddy was also awarded the Volunteer of the Year Award by Beverly Enterprises Organization for providing volunteer services to the elderly. 4 generations of Dr. Reddy's family have been followers of Bhagawan Baba. Dr. Reddy himself came to Bhagawan Baba at the tender age of 5. Dr. Reddy and his family have been hosting a Sathya Sai Center in their home for more than 30 years. You may have remembered Dr. Alex introducing Dr. Reddy in the Sai Kuan Hall a couple of days ago, and how he spoke of his attitude of gratitude. Having worked with Dr. Reddy personally, I do see also his value of sacrifice in making himself available to guide us and definitely to help us through the way, through several conferences and several different projects they've worked on. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Narendranath Reddy.
With love, gratitude, and reverence, I offer myself at the divine lotus feet of our dearest, sweetest, omnipresent, loving Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected trustees of the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Secretary of the Sathya Sai Central Trust, respected Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the dear delegates, brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you on this beautiful morning. I am very grateful to Bhagavan for bringing all of us from 80 countries together in this abode of supreme peace. And more so, this particular venue is very special. It gives me very fond memories when Bhagavan came many times here and he gave a beautiful divine nectarine discourses. I very clearly remember one time he gave discourse called Manasu Marmam, Mind and its Secrets, series of discourses which is very important for any sadhaka to dive deep. And he gave discourses on Gita, and sometimes he gave discourses on various aspects of the spiritual practices. This is the holy abode. This is beautiful that we came here and able to take part in this conference. And we saw beautifully another indication of Swami is the last few days we had showers of love, wonderful rain. Now comes the sun of wisdom. So prema and jnana started with prema, now ends in jnana. So finally anyway prema and jnana are one. So Swami gives us, because jnana devatu kaivalyam, ultimately Swami says everything ends in that one supreme knowledge. So we are very blessed and fortunate Swami had this available for us. So we will continue to feel his divine presence. As Jesus said, wherever my devotees are gathered, 2 or more in my name, I am present. And Swami is here with us. He is our eternal companion. Let us not forget that. He is with us, but we need to remind us ourselves that he is with us. And I want to first thank the respected Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, and the Director of the campus for their unbelievable support to have this place available, for the planning and for the arrangements. They are examples of loving hospitality. You want to practice love all and serve all, help ever, hurt never, they do that. You know, some people like help never, hurt ever, but these are help ever, hurt never. And that is a good example. We really appreciate that. And also, we appreciate the presence of this members of the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, and all the support they have been giving us the last few days, the week, for the accommodation and the beautiful Mahaprasadam they provided. I could not believe that one day I ate the breakfast, the upma and thing. I cannot believe how they could serve that kind of food for thousands of devotees. This is only divine grace, and the food was saturated with divine love. It was a wonderful that Mahaprasadam they arranged. And also, we were all participating in the beautiful cultural programs. So every program was great, but the climax was the program we had Sai Symphony Orchestra. That was the world class, and I got so many emails from different parts of the world how it talks about the glorious, wonderful celebrations of Swami's birthday. For me, that was two messages. One is, it talks about the unity. We are all one, different parts of the world, and the combination of the Eastern and Western music to show our adoration and love for Bhagwan. So another thing is, we are all together. I get my messages from Bhagwan. We had the golden chariot procession on the morning of Bhagwan's birthday. We were all together, and just I looked around, there were the members of the Central Trust, there were the leaders from the international organization, there were the leaders from the Indian organization, there were representatives from the education institutes and the medical institute. For me, the golden chariot of Bhagwan is the divine mission, and we're all together. So we are all one, instead of separating Indian organization, international, Central Trust, or the education, medical. We are all one in this. That is what Swami emphasizes, fatherhood of God and brotherhood of man. And really I felt Swami gave us the opportunity, demonstrating that we are all in this together. So that was really wonderful to see the participation. And also I want to welcome all of you, the delegates. You came from 80 countries. You have to spend a lot of time, energy, money, resources. So it is wonderful to see all of you. Let us make the best use of this time. And I want to let, for people who are not aware, some of the delegates, and most of you are officers in the organization, the event committee has been working on this for the last 12 months. Since the last birthday, we planned this World Conference, 10th World Conference. The theme, you know, love is the source, love is the path, love is the goal. Almost every 2 weeks to week, that officers and members from all over the world, let it be from Australia, USA, Germany, Italy, and Middle East, Malaysia, all of them come together that day, about 100 people, talk about the various aspects of the conference. That shows the unity. I really feel very blissful and thrilled to see that kind of cooperation among the event committee people to arrange these things. So much of labor of love. So many times, I say we're all Shivaratri group. People I see in Australia, they were at 3 a.m., they were joining the conference, and some people in Malaysia at 2 a.m., to show that their dedication and love and sacrifice for Bhagavan. That is the one which touched my heart, and all of us are united in doing this for God. When here, I want to tell some of the things unique. Accommodation, we have different committees, accommodation committee. The way they are doing, I went and saw some of the rooms. How were they presented before and how it was done after. First, it was not in a great shape. These people put so much effort. They make it like a hotel room with a beautiful bed sheets, water available, fixing the commode. I could see how much they were interested to make the delegates comfortable. And coming to the registration, this is the unique time, first time in the history of the World Conference, the registration is electronic, because each delegate is given the opportunity to take part in 4 workshops. And we had 900 plus delegates. To match the choice of the workshop to the delegate is not an easy. So we have a special IT group who could do this, match the workshop for their choice. That is wonderful to see them, this registration team. And then the food committee, arranging the food for the lunch. Right now we are going to have in the indoor stadium to take care of the lunch for so many people. The dedication, the planning is amazing. And we have the media committee who is taking care of various video conferencing and trying to do the live streaming. I don't know whether it is working or not. And also the various banners, presentation, everything they are doing. And also they are responsible for the publication. For people who do not know, we distributed 2 publications. One is Divine Nectar. It is really nectar. Why? Because these are all Swami's words, nobody else's words. Because Swami's every word is a mantra, every sentence is a sutra, every discourse is a Veda. And these divine nectarine discourses were not randomly chosen. Every word of Swami is wonderful, but this one with a specific theme. These are all landmark discourses of Bhagavan. One of 9 chapters were taken. One was revealing his divinity. Swami, in his infinite compassion, is revealed his divine mission and his divinity in one landmark discourse in 1968 First World Conference, and in his letters to his brother, where he talked about his mission and task. And then another aspect is, second thing, Swami lent us the name to the organization. So what is the role of responsibilities of the members of the organization and the officers of the organization? There's another landmark discourse we chose. And then similarly, what Swami has expected, the educator, how to spread the Sathya education in human values, couple of discourses. Then the healthcare professionals, how to deliver ideal Sai healthcare with love and compassion. Then we have chosen discourses for the women. What is the role of women in the organization, in the community, in the home? And the role for the youth, and the role mainly for the service, how to do service, what is the goal of service. So these various aspects, and finally the most important is how to practice sadhana. Because basically, whether we are officers, whether we are members, whether we are educators, healthcare professionals, we are all in this because of our own personal sadhana. Other than that, it has no purpose. So there, Swami's landmark discourses, how to do sadhana. Mainly one of the powerful discourses is about forbearance. So Swami says forbearance is truth, forbearance is strength, forbearance is power. So all these wonderful divine discourses in this book, Divine Nectar. That is why if you do the divine nectar, what happens? We become immortal. So if you want the base to immortality is drinking this divine nectar, reading, not only reading, but diving deep and practicing in our life, and our lives are sanctified. And the second book is the annual report. First is the universal and eternal message of Swami. Second is how it is practiced all over the world by the devotees all over the world. That is the annual report. You can see the beautiful work done by our brothers and sisters in 123 countries. So this is the wonderful publication. Please take time to first digest Swami's eternal message, next his works. And we also have the exhibition team who is doing wonderful international exhibition. Hope many of you have gone. How many of you have gone there? My God, that's wonderful. Almost 90% of the people are gone. So it is wonderful showcasing 3 things. Number 1, Swami's life, landmark events in Swami's life, from the time he was born to the time he left the body. And the most important message of Swami, and third is how that message is translated into action, the works. All those are showcased in this exhibition. And another unique thing that I want to see the highlights, what we have done in the international organization in the last 2 years. One is we have launched a new website just on the occasion of the eve of Swami's birthday. Let me tell, this is very unique. Please visit satyasai.org for many reasons. Number 1, the content, Swami's words are there, his teachings are there. And all the work happening all over the world, it happens to be there. And third thing is, now we have put e-books. All the Vahinis of Swami are available as in e-books. Whether you are in an airport or whether you are in a doctor's office, anywhere, you can look at them. And the unique thing about this website, I don't know any other website, this is a responsive website. That means most of the other websites you can see only in the computer. Here, whether it is a tablet, whether an iPad, anywhere, you can look at those discourses and really use our time usefully. This is the first time our IT team, I congratulate them for this wonderful thing they have done. This is the responsive IT website. And similarly, the media people, they have done how to spread Swami's message loud to more people. We launched a website called Sai Universe. Please go and visit that. All the work done all over the world. Let it be Nepal, Argentina, Russia, or in Oman, Kuwait, anywhere it is there. And another unique thing about this website is it could be translated into many, many languages. There is a Google language translation. It could be translated in Nepalese, Hindi. It could be translated in Spanish, Russian. So all the facilities, so you have the access to be able to visit that. This is the wonderful work our media team has been doing, and all the other work also they have been involved with. So this way, most of the wonderful work is going on in the last by Swami's grace. And recently we launched a committee called Public Outreach Committee, because all these days we all are recipient of Swami's love and message. But we are confined, we are just using it only in our Sathya Sai Center. How to reach out to the community? How can we reach more and more people and get them involved in Sai movement? Because we enjoyed Swami's love and message, and it is our duty to share with more and more people. For that, the mechanisms we have been using is various platforms, interfaith meetings. Another is arranging public meetings, which are very successful in the Latin America. I was there about 6 months ago in Bogota, Colombia, on a rainy day and a Monday evening, more than 1,000 people come. The government officials, people of many faiths. It was amazing. And a Monday evening, when Leonardo Guter and John Banner arranged that, I said, who will come? And it was a torrential rain. First, around 6 p.m., there were only 100 people. And as this about to start, the whole auditorium was full up with 1,000 people, and majority are never are Sai devotees. This is how we want to reach the public, through the interfaith meeting, through the public meetings, and through the walk for values, to the community engagement. So this is the new initiative. The whole thing is Swami is letting us know how to share his love and message with more and more people. But as I said, we should not rest on our laurels. How to move forward? As the Upanishad says, Uttishtata jagrata prapya nibodhita. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Swami has given us so much. How can we take it forward? That is what, and he has given, if not we, who can do this? If not now, when? So we should have the resolution that let us take this Sai movement forward. Because we are so blessed and fortunate to be the contemporaries of the Avatar. Yesterday you heard Ustad Zakir Hussain, the great tabla maestro, saying, the beautiful incident really touched me, that Swami gave him this dosa, and he was scared about eating the chili. He opened, the chili became sweet. That is what Swami does that to us. Bitter experiences he will make sweet, because he is the embodiment of sweetness. There is a beautiful poem, Madhuramuni Satcharitamu, Madhuramu mi punyanama marayan, Palukul Madhuramu Ganamu Madhuramu, Madhuramu Bhavadiyamella Madhura Swarupa. Oh, the embodiment of sweetness. Your life is sweet, your words are sweet, your song is sweet, and humor is sweet. Everything about you is sweetness, because you are sweetness itself. I remember one time that one of the functions, and the devotees from America were there. They were singing a song, Baba is ice cream, very, very sweet. So, and Swami was giving the Joy ice cream, that time Joy ice cream, he was getting it distributed, vanilla Joy ice cream to everybody. So everybody enjoying. Then suddenly Swami stops at one devotee. Do you know why God is ice cream, very, very sweet? We just mechanically, Swami gave the spiritual significance for that. Number one, vanilla ice cream, it is white, it is pure. God is always pure. Second, it is cool. So God is always cool, doesn't get up and down. And God is sweet. God is always sweet. We can sometimes bitter. And then once you eat the ice cream, it just absorbs, melts once with you. So even that is the beauty of the Lord. Everything is beauty around him. He spiritualizes every experience into a divine experience. And also I remember how we are blessed, because in 1994, we are blessed to be Swami invited as guests in Kodaikanal. So one of the days, I was there sitting at Divine Lotus feet along with late Professor Sampath, the then Vice Chancellor of the university. He was an exemplary and simple devotee So he told Swami, Swami, I don't know, I'm so blessed and fortunate to be at your divine lotus feet. I don't know what good I did in this life. I must have done something good in my previous life. Swami corrected him. Not the good you did in your previous life. It is the combined merit of all the good was done by all your ancestors of many, many generations gave you this opportunity to sit at my divine lotus feet. Let us see how blessed and fortunate we don't appreciate how the glorious occasion we have to be able to take part in this. This is the beautiful opportunity. Okay, His sweetness, His goodness, He gave the opportunity. Then what is our duty? Swami says the best way to reach me is through love and service. That is why the whole theme is love is the source, love is the path, and love is the goal. And Swami beautifully said, if you want to see the moon, how do you see? Through the help of the moonlight. Similarly, God, who is the embodiment of love, if you want to experience Him, we can experience Him only through love. Then what is this love? We glibly talk about love. But Swami beautifully said, there is divine love and worldly love. So let us not confuse worldly love with divine love. What is divine? What is the difference? Divine love is permanent, it is pure, it is selfless, unconditional. These four things, please remember the 4 points. Permanent, unconditional, selfless, and pure. Whereas worldly love is temporary, it is conditional, it is selfish and impure. So we need to proceed from this worldly love and experience the divine love. And Swami is the embodiment, he is the example. We don't need to go anywhere else. He is the example of that unconditional love. And some of you are witnesses when Sai Gita passed away. We were there, here the last rites were being done. Swami in the hot sun, he was sitting for a couple of hours till the last rites are finished. You can see the love and compassion for an elephant. It reminds me of the story of Lord Rama for Jatayu, where he made the last rites. So similarly, our Sai Rama's love for even not only all of us human beings, but for animals, if you really have love for him. Another very humorous anecdote I remember, late Professor Kasturi, one time this happened many years ago. He was giving he's very wonderful historian and he is a great devotee of Swami. He said, those days there were a lot of mosquitoes in Prashanti Nilayam. Hopefully now it is not. That time, then Professor Kasturi went to Swami. Swami, there are too many mosquitoes. I want to have a mosquito curtain for you. Then Swami said, selfish man. This was when man was taken aback. Why selfish? Only you want prasadam from me. What about mosquitoes? So this is the love of the Lord. For love goes for all people. That is the love we should have. Love for all. That's why it says, love all is not love someone and hate someone, serve someone, hate someone. Love all, serve all means really we need to put into practice. Then we talk about this divine love. How to love God? One is we need to develop a relationship with God. So He is our father and mother. Very name beautifully Sai Baba means Sai is mother, Baba is father. He is our divine mother and father. We should have that relationship. As one of the hymns says, Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We shouldn't put a distance between us and God. We should have a feeling, Swami said, God is our very own. He is my mother, He is my father, He is my friend. I can talk to Him, relate to Him. First, if you want to have divine love, we need to develop that relationship with God. Second is, we need to have priority for God in our life. Sai, S-A-I. Swami first, all others next, that little I last. If you give that, you will have joy. Swami also used to say about joy. If you want to have joy, Jesus first, others next, yourself last. So if you really want to experience the divine love, we should give highest priority to God in our life. But Swami says, unfortunately, a lot of us, part-time devotees want full-time benefits, he says. It doesn't work like that. So we need to have full-time devotion and derive full-time benefits. This is how we should give priority to God in life. And another way divine love important is intensity. I'm a devotee for 30 years, 50 years, or 4th generation, doesn't matter. How intense our love for God is. One time I was going with Swami. I asked Swami, how do I know I have devotion, Swami? నీకు తీవ్ర పరితాపం ఉంటే నీకు భక్తి ఉన్నట్టు. ఫర్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఇంటెన్స్ లాంగింగ్, intense hunger for God, that means you have devotion. We need to have that intense longing, like Gopikas were worried, why did the God create the eyelids? Even that fraction of a second we can't see the Lord. So that kind of intense longing I cannot live without. Like another example is Bhagavan Ramakrishna, how he cried for Mother Kali, Mother, another day is gone, what is my life for? So that kind of intense longing we should have. And next one is, if you have divine love, love for love's sake. Don't have business. Swami used to say, people here in Tirupati, I give my hair and give me passing the exam or a job. Swami says, who cares for God doesn't care for your hair. You are trying to bargain with your hair and God. You should love for love's sake. I remember in 2001, in Guru Purnima time, I think July 5th, I think our respected Chakravarti Garu was there. Swami made him announce. I don't know whether he should remember. Swami made an announce in the Kulavant Hall, said, from today onwards, you should not ask for Pada Namaskar. You should pray to Swami only for love. And a lot of us were disappointed. Oh my God, we can't have Pada Namaskar, we can't give handkerchief to Swami, we can't get signed. But after deep contemplation, we found that is the highest good Swami gave. As Jesus said, seek ye the kingdom of God, everything shall be added unto you. We have loved for God, everything. Like Swami says, our wealth is a zero, our family is a zero, our job is a zero, our position is a zero. All are zeros. You put one God in front, then you become a billionaire, trillionaire. So that power of God, without one, any number of zeros is zeros, no value. So we should have that God, love for love's sake, then we have this divine love. And how to nurture this love? Swami said beautifully two things. One is Namasmarana. Yesterday the boys were singing, Lut Haito Lut, this divine sweet name. Go on chanting. There are people whose life got sanctified and they got liberated just by chanting the name of God. Let us chant the sweet divine name. Another is satsang. It reinforces the divine energy so that our love for God grows. This is the way to nurture our divine love. And we all talk about divine love. How do you know we have divine love? We should always say, oh, I love Swami. Swami himself said, how do you know you have love? Swami said, if you have love for God, two things. One is you have equanimity. Swami wrote in that historic letter to his brother, మంచి చెడ్డలు కూడా సమముగా భావించుటే భక్తి నాకు. I am giving the definition of devotion. Those who are devoted to me will treat success and failure, honor and dishonor, profit and loss, heat and with the same equal-mindedness. He didn't say the one who does 1,000 japa, 10-hour meditation, this 10-hour service. The one who is equal-minded in all situations, he is my devotee. So if we want to be a devotee of the Lord, we need to have that equanimity. That is the sign of devotion. Second thing Swami says is peace. Peace that passeth understanding, as Jesus said. Like the proof of rain is wetness of the ground. If there is wet, ground is not wet, you said there is rain, we don't believe that. Similarly, proof of real love for God is peace. Peace that doesn't get disturbed and you are always in that bliss. Also, this Zakir Hussain yesterday was telling, when he was with Swami, he was floating in bliss, because that means you are in tune with God. When you are in tune with God, you are always blissful, peaceful, you dance with joy. That is what great people like Chaitanya, Gauranga do. We need to be happy and blissful, not be sober and depressed and long-faced. And spirituality is life full of joy. That's what Swami expects us. So now, this love is okay. So how do you translate this love into action? So love in action is service. Swami says any amount you may talk about love, if you don't put into action, there is of no benefit. That is what Jesus said. What is the use of calling me Lord, 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 when you don't do what I say? Similarly, we need to put into action the love. That is why Swami often says, hands that serve are holier than the lips that pray. But what is the uniqueness about Swami's message about seva? Swami doesn't call it seva, it is called Narayana seva. When we do the service, we are really serving God. That is what we need to remember. because Rotary Club, Lions Club, Red Cross, they all do service. But what is the uniqueness about Swami's organization? Swami says, think this is Narayana Seva. You really have conviction we are serving God. First time Swami Vivekananda coined the word, Narendranath Seva. That means you are serving God in the poor. Swami says that is not correct. Just Narayana Seva, because Daridra, Lakshmi Narayana refers to Upadhi. But the Atma doesn't have richness, poorness, scholarship. The Narayana Seva, any person, whether rich or poor, scholarly or ignorant, king or pauper, whoever serve, we are serving God. That is the really Narayana Seva. So that is the attitude we should have when we are doing the service. So then why we are not able to do this service? And also people say, what is service? We always think service is giving food to people, clothes to people, shelter to people, water to people. Yes, this is all good service. But Swami says that doesn't necessarily need to be service. You have a kind word. You have a nice smile. You have a nice gesture which lifts up the spirits of people. And also more than anything else, divine thoughts. That is all noble thoughts. That is everything is service. Swami says you can do more things by spreading the positive thoughts. One time Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, somebody approached. Maharshi, you are just sitting here, you never go and do service. He said, how do you know I am not doing service? The very fact that I am here serving these noble thoughts to the world, permeating, that is uplifting the humanity. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. We think those great rishis in the Himalayan caves, sitting there, their divine thoughts penetrate those thick walls of those caves and permeate. That is the way the universe is. So divine thoughts, noble thoughts also is service. Service doesn't confine to ourselves. A smile, a kind word, a gesture, a good prayer, all could be service. Then why are we not getting benefited by this service? Swami says there are two major obstacles. One is kartrutva and bhoktrutva. I am doing this and I want the results. I want to enjoy the report. That is the whole problem. Another thing Swami says, ahankara and mamakara. I and mine and I want the results. That is the greatest pitfall. Any number of years we do service, if we don't get rid of those two major obstacles, we never progress. Like I was telling, what is the sign of a good person having divine love? Equanimity, peace and bliss. How do we know we are doing selfless service? Swami said there are two signs. Number one, purity of the heart. The whole purpose we do service is for purification of the heart. Chittasya shuddhaye karmanaha, Lord Krishna said. The whole purpose we do is to purify our heart. Why should we purify our heart? So that we can see God. Jesus said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And Swami, in his message in the Rome, they wanted a message, international symposium was there. Swami gave a beautiful message. Unity is divinity, purity is enlightenment. That means the minute we are pure, we are enlightened. You don't need to do any spiritual practices. All the bhajans we do, service we do, study circle, is the whole purpose is so that we get rid of these negative qualities and dirt so that we are pure. That is the one we need to do our audit. Am I less angry? Am I less jealous? I have less pride. Am I pure? We need to do our own self-audit to see whether we are deriving the benefit from the selfless service. That is very important. So if you are really service, you have purity of the heart. Because Swami said you can conquer everything. This beautiful poem of Swami, I know it in Telugu, he says there is a great devotee of God, Prahlada, and his father, Hiranyakashipu, Swami says is the greatest scientist. People now to go to moon. That day, Hiranyakashipu could go to sun and solar systems, galaxies. The greatest scientist ever, but he was very agitated, very weak. Then this boy tells him, Lokamulanniyun gadiyalona jayinchina vaadavu, indriyanikamun chittamun geluvaneeravu, ninnu nibaddu jeyu ee bhekara shatrula arura, prabhinnula chesina pranikotilo virodhi ledevvadu nerpuna judumu danaveshwara. He says, you have conquered all the universe everywhere. No good. Unless you conquer your inner enemies, you are no conqueror. The greatest conquest is the conquering our inner enemies. That is to develop the purity. And second important sign, this is where I will conclude my talk, is unity. As Swami says, purity is enlightenment, unity is divinity. Once we see the unity, then we are in tune with God. That is the whole purpose, everything. What is unity? Unity at different levels. Unity at the individual level. Unity of thought, word, and deed. What we think, we say. What we say, we do. Swami says, speak obligingly. Unfortunately, some senior devotees and people, in the name of speaking obligingly, they tell something, do something else. Swami says, manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam, mahatmanaha. Manasanyat, karmanyanyat, vachasanyat, duratmanaha. So we should self-audit. Hey, I'm saying one thing, thinking something else, doing, that means we are ourselves duratmana. We need to have first harmony of thought, word, and deed. Then we should have unity in the family, unity in the community, unity in the organization. That is when divinity will be manifest. We need to have that clear concept, unity is divinity. Because Swami says we need to have duality is half blind, Swami says. Advaita darshanam jnanam. Seeing oneness is the whole purpose of our spiritual practices. If we really do selfless service in this spirit, we will find there is only one thing exists, that is the Atmic knowledge. That is Advaita Darshanam Jnanam. So that we should try to remember. In Ishavasya Upanishad says, Tatra ko moha ko shokaha ekatvam anupashishtaha. Once you see that oneness, you are no more sorrow, no more delusion. You are always in that bliss and divine consciousness. I pray to Swami to bless all of us in the coming couple of days. We make best use of it so that we dive deep into his teachings and see how we can relate to them, practice them. The main thing is we did enough study circles in 16 countries, covering 123 countries and 11 zones. Now we are coming down to the practicality of it. That is why we have 9 workshops. One is how an ideal Sai center should be. So various people are meeting. Second, what an ideal Sai devotee or a leader should be. And third, how should we effectively communicate in the organization and lovingly communicate, not only effective, but it should be loving communication. We have workshops on that. And then the role of women in the organization, in the community, in the family, role of the youth, role of the educationists, and also we are talking about the public outreach. So we have many workshops. We will dwell into that and have discussions, and finally we should come up with the proceedings, resolutions, so that how can we implement so that we can move forward by His grace. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.